And now joining us in the studio is UCO running backs coach George Hauser. Coach, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Hey, we appreciate this. You know, since we're not on the campus radio station anymore, you know, we've been a chance to tell people in Edmond about what happened in the game is going to be exciting for us.
Okay, let's talk about the game a little bit. Now, the first game coming out, you pitch a 3-0 shutout. You got to be happy about that defensive stand.
Hey, you know, you try to beat them as bad as you can beat them, and I guess that was our deal. We had 6 kids start for the first time in our program on offense on Saturday, and it took a little while to get the chemistry going. The 3 points, you know, it could have been 24, 25 things gone our way. We had a couple of passes we felt should have been touchdowns, not convert. We had a run called back. Ryan Logan's long run was called back. 24-0 in the second quarter. Things had gone right, and we're cruising. But the way it turned out, we had to fight and claw for the victory, and I think it helped pull our team together.
Okay, now Scott Condick coming in, first-year quarterback at UCO, but he has some experience at NEO. Overall, how do you rate his performance?
Oh, you know, I don't know what the stats said. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to those. You know, we're more interested in the 3-0. As long as it's a win, that's all that matters. From grading him out in film, we felt like, talking to Coach Massey, he had a good game. He had a solid performance, got the offense in and out of the right situation when we needed to get him into. And more important than that, we really didn't turn the ball over that much. You know, we had a time we had 2 fumbles hit the ground, but those weren't really caused by the defense. They were miscues on our part.
Now, Coach, I said earlier that you had a lot of key returning starters come back. What leadership roles do they play in the team as far as your young guys coming up?
Well, in the backfield, you know, I've got Ryan Logan and Reggie Donner back, Wade Griffin and Bear Runyon. You know, on the offensive line, you've got Aaron Chester at right tackle, and you've got Brad Lawson at left guard. And other than that, everybody else is new. So those kids have got to come in and show those kids who had never played for us and had been in those situations that every time when UCO steps on the football field, it's homecoming for somebody because people get after us. And it was an indication up at Northwestern tonight. You know, there's nobody in school. You know, I don't know if anybody lives in Northwestern Oklahoma or not anymore, but everybody in that county's up there to watch the game because the Broncos are in town. People get up for us, and those kids' leadership in situations like that is going to be crucial, especially in a game as big as one this week.
Okay, now, Coach, you coach the running backs, and obviously the big concern to the running backs is, of course, the offensive line. Now, last year you lose All-American Dustin McNeil. Is that guy replaceable?
Well, I don't know if you can ever get another Dustin McNeil, but Dustin Kepke, another Dustin, came in, played center for us, and did a good job Saturday. Not very many busts, was pretty physical, played probably a little better than we expected him to. So I don't know if we ever replaced Dustin McNeil, but we got some kids who are working hard to try to fill that gap.
Okay. Now, as far as your defense goes this year, we've been talking a lot about Johnny Luter. The injury, is he back? Is he 100%?
Hey, me watching him out there and us going against him in practice, the kid's got a lot of mobility back. He's flying around the ball. One thing that Johnny adds to our team that the people don't really recognize is his leadership ability. You know, Johnny can come in there and get a team fired up and do some things that by example to get some guys to play hard. And you know, the highlight you show there, he comes up and hits the running back and jacks him out of bounds there. That kind of rallied our defense a couple of different times when he came in and did that.
Okay. Now, Coach, we're talking about Johnny Luter, who is a great defensive back, and we're also talking about the strong defense that the Broncos have. They obviously pitched a shutout against Northwestern the other Friday night. What changes would you like to make on the offense to get the score up more than just 3-0?
Oh, well, we'd like to open it up a little bit more, and probably had the field position on the first couple of drives not being what it was. We probably could not have done a little bit different. Our game plan was to go in, make the ratio, run the pass, so probably a little bit more balanced. But, you know, when we start our first drive on the 1-foot line, our first objective was, first of all, get far enough out to punt. Then if we could get a first down, that'd be great. And we did, and we were half a yard short, so we punted the ball. And that gum, David Simpson did a great job. I think he had 2 60-yarders and a 55-yarder, ended up averaging like 51 yards in a game. And that helped turn field position around later on in the game. And I know the stats don't show it, and the highlights didn't show it, but we had some good drives and had opportunities. Ronnie had another opportunity to kick a field goal later in the game, and like I said, we had 2 strikes in the end zone we just didn't convert on.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of Simpson, he was also named LSC Player of the Week this week.
I don't think we've ever had a punter in the history since I've been here since 1981. Really? I don't think we've ever had a punter named Player of the Week from our school, and that's quite an honor. But he was a difference in that ball game, our part.
Now, if OU had that punter, they might be in a different story last year. Right. But we're talking about UCO. Now, Coach, this week we've got the Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas, our very, very good friends from Kingsville. Now, I was doing some reading today, and we've beat them 1 time. What are our chances Saturday, the home opener?
Let me tell you something. That's why you line up and play, because if you played everything on paper, there'd be a lot of games that people wouldn't even show up to see. And our kids are preparing hard. They're going to get ready to play. And I'm going to tell you what, they better be ready to play. When Kingsville gets here, they better be ready to play, because our kids are going to be ready to play.
There's no doubt the fans are going to be up for this one. I'm going to be up for this, and if I could put on this helmet right here Saturday, I would do it.
Well, there's no love lost, I can tell you that. You know, you say our friends from Kingsville. I don't have very many friends in Kingsville. As a matter of fact, I keep a picture of a pig, or it's actually a javelina, on my mirror when I wake up in the morning. It's the first thing I see before I do my thing in the morning. I'm reminded of them constantly year-round, and another year I'd like to get these guys.
Yeah. So this game in itself gets a team pumped up. There's nothing you can say to them to get
I'm gonna tell you what, if you can't get fired to play the Javelinas, then you probably don't have a pulse, because they're going to be nationally ranked every year. They're going to be our adversary, and as far as the South Division, North Division of the conference, for us to win the outright Lone Star, we got to beat them, and our kids know that.
Right.
What's it going to take Saturday to beat the Javelinas?
Better execution, a little more consistency, and getting on the path, keeping the tempo. You know, our offense is really gauged on long drives. 12, 13, 14-play drives, eating the clock up, wearing the defensive down, mixing the run and pass up. And the other night, we were 3 and out too much, and we didn't really get them tired on defense like we like to. And I think we can hold the ball, and be patient, take a 4-yard gain, a 5-yard gain, and be patient with it, and drive the length of the field. And hey, use goalers when we can to get 3 points when we can, and 6 when we can't. And score when we have opportunities to. I think it'll be a heck of a ball game.
Is there any changes you plan to make? I know you're on the offensive side, but any defensive changes the team's going to make to get ready for this tough team, as opposed to what Northwestern may not have shown you?
Well, I don't know what goes on those defensive staff meetings. We got our own problems there on offense, but just from watching, those guys work today, it looks like they were going to do like we're going to do, and that's get better at the things we know how to do, and get our kids back on doing what they've been coached to do. The system's in place, and we know what we're supposed to do, and we're going to get better at what we know to do. That's really going to be the game plan, is just be more consistent.
Now, a little bit more about the offensive side of the ball, talking about the passing game. We showed a couple highlights of Scott Condick going to Todd Barnes. Now, Todd Barnes, a junior transfer in from OU, what does he bring to the table on the field?
Oh, Todd's an outstanding young man. He helps lead our FCA huddle. He's just a great kid to be around. But he's also a heck of a football player. He's very competitive. He's very disciplined. He makes himself go the extra mile every day. And Scott and Todd are going to have some exciting plays, I think, over the course of this year. Alton Lusk is going to have a good year and played good the other night. Shannon Hall had a good game the other night. Just in looking around, the passing game is going to be more, if we can give Scott time to throw, and we're going to complete some passes.
Okay. Now, Coach, a couple weeks ago, you held a UCO Kids Clinic. I think that was the first time that had been done here at UCO. It was pretty successful. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, we've talked to some of the guys who run the SI here in town, the Edmond All Sports Little League program, and we're talking about the concept of this, and the coaches got together and felt like if we could do something to give something back to the kids in the community, host a clinic, let our players get out and show what a college football player looks like, a local kid. Maybe some of those kids come and want to watch us play, and they don't know, but they're also heroes. I mean, our kids look up to the little kids look up to them, and so we called some coaches and got together, and I think we had 108 kids show up for this first one.
Wow.
And we had a lot of fun. Our kids got out and worked it. Hey, I've got 2 kids playing Little League football. They were both there, and they had a heck of a time. And then our kids did an outstanding job with the monitoring of it, and the mentorship of it, and most of those kids stayed for our scrimmage later on that evening.
Okay, what you're seeing right now is that clinic. Let's listen to some of the raw sights and sounds. All right, we're out of time, Coach. We want to thank you for coming on.
Coach, thanks a lot for joining us today.
Great show.
We wish you luck Friday.
Saturday.
Saturday?
Might wish me luck Friday.
He's got a date Friday. I'm talking about the date.
Aaron's thinking about high school football. And we want to thank you for joining us on week 1 of The Huddle, and be sure to tune in next Monday night at 7 o'clock for The Huddle.
We'll see you next week.